Hello everybody. So it's pretty cold here in Indiana. We got to do some midwinter cleanup, especially right before the snowstorm hits. Unfortunately, that water got too low, so that kind of froze over, but we're going to give it a little bit of time and see if it'll thaw out. Temporarily I've been filling up one of the older waters with some of the water from the jug. Right now I'm going to actually show you what a chicken coop will look like when middle of winter. These birdies have been cooped up in here. Sorry for the pun. But anyways, I need to get this cleaned out and I need to move quick. As you can see, there's some eggs in there. They've been starting to chow on them and the poop is getting a little bit too crazy. So I'm going to scrape out all this and get rid of this cat carrier thing because that's just in the way, and get another bale of straw in here. By the time that's done, maybe that will be defrosted and these birdies will be reset for the rest of the winter. Okay, so maybe not as effective as I'd hoped. I did get a bunch of material out, but it is pretty much rock solid frozen in here, as you can tell by me beating up the little cat carrier thing. That's completely frozen solid, and I was able to split some of it up. That should help. Well, hello. There's a chance once I close this door and these birds get in here, they'll be able to take that apart, get spread around. But I guess that's what happens when you go from like 7 to 10 chickens last year to 21 this year. So we left a lot of material in there from late fall. I think we'll have to push our setup for the winter months, probably push that a little bit later into the year before everything gets frozen. But try to keep the amount of time. Hold on a second. Sorry, I had the door locked and I couldn't close it, and I was afraid the birdies were gonna get run away. So what I was thinking of was, because during the winter months everything is frozen like it is now, if I had waited until mid-December, maybe around Christmas, things wouldn't have been frozen and I would have been able to clear it out. Add the new straw, and that would give me a shorter winter period where all that stuff kind of built up. And also, keeping a better eye on this water would have been a good idea. Whew. That'll have to be a temporary measurement until this thing hopefully unfreezes. Okay, so it's moving. Yeah, okay. Yeah, look at that. We got pretty lucky, I think, here. Now I'll have to grab something harder to push that in. But having that unfrozen already is a really good sign. I'm not going to dip my hand in there because I don't want to freeze my fingers. So what have we learned, birdies? What have we learned? That if you're a fluffy chicken, you know, fluff yourself up and be okay in the winter. Okay, we've learned that. We've also learned we need to keep an eye on our water bucket, make sure it doesn't fall too low so that the anti-icer doesn't freeze. It needs to be in water in order for it to work. So, but we do know we have a nice place to put all of our old ash. Of course, that was all like cold before we dumped it out here. That it helps keep away mites and things like that, and then they can roll around in it. If we keep enough in here, they can still do kind of regular dust baths in the winter. And we've also learned that it's good to keep these larger jugs, and that you can still use your outdoor spigot so long as you close it back up. And actually, let me show you that hose, because I think that's probably pretty important. As I check my thingy again. Yes, the thing works so amazingly well. It's like already almost all unfrozen. Alright, so I'm going to leave those chickies alone for a little bit. I'll come back in an hour or something, but let's finish up this video. I'm hoping things like this will help you, the viewer. When you think about getting chickens in Indiana or something like that, you won't. You'll see what I've done, the mistakes I've made, and then the solutions. So that was frozen. So then I'd use a screwdriver, and I opened it. And of course, it's on camera now, so it won't actually turn. Okay, well, I got it to turn earlier, and I filled up my little water jug. The reason why people don't leave their hoses on here, because if this hose was still on there, all the water in the hose would back up, expand, and then it would go into here and shatter it inside. This one, because it's free flowing and it's a drain, this should prevent any backlog or whatever. So me opening this up, let the water come out and then letting it drain should be okay. I suppose if it were -30 out, the speed at which the water froze would probably be too fast. So it was a little bit of a risky maneuver here at about 5 degrees above, just before this huge snowstorm. But I guess you live and you learn. Somebody's got to try these things to see if they work or not. So thank you for coming along and looking at my embarrassing poop-filled coop there. But the chickens are fine. They got some new straw. I'll have to check on them in an hour, but that de-icer is already working again. I have an alternate thing of water, and their food is filled. So I'm gonna go back inside and sit by the fire. So thank you again for watching. Enjoy your winter. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.